8:35, and this morning the House is ready to vote on the defense spending bill, and included in it lots of additions designed to help southern Arizona. Joining me this morning from Washington is Representative Martha McSally. Congresswoman McSally, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Hey, good morning from the people, Andrew.
Nice to hear from you. So this list helps Davis-Monthan and helps Fort Huachuca and the military in general here in southern Arizona. How badly is this stuff needed given the threats that we are seeing all around the world right now?
It's needed very badly, Andrew. Our military is really in a crisis. They've been doing the best they can, but we've been in 20% military cuts because of this thing called sequestration. So we did a 14-hour last night of the annual defense bill on the House Armed Services Committee. Sometimes it goes up to 19 hours. But we had some really big wins for our community and our troops. We got the A-10 fully funded. It's going to keep flying. And I also secured another $103 million to rebuild some of the wings. There's about 110 of them that still need their wings strengthened so they can keep flying in the future. Also investing in other upgrades for laser-guided rockets and air traffic control compatibility issues and safety inspections. We got the Tomahawk missile line made at Raytheon fully funded. The Standard Missile 3, we increased by 18 missiles over the President's budget's request. Fully funded. The missions at Fort Huachuca, plus an increase in Army end strength by 10,000. There are provisions there in the bill that turns our military readiness crisis around, and it's also going to be helpful for our local community, because if we have a strong military presence, then that impacts our local communities.
I want to talk about the military size in a second, but first we've got a few things. We will have a few things up on the screen that you have been able to add. You just talked about them for a little bit there. Full funding for the A-10 fleet, $22 million for a general instruction building at DM. For missions at Fort Huachuca. Talk about the work it took for you to get these additions into this defense bill.
Right, this is kind of the sausage making of legislating, but I have been tirelessly advocating for especially the A-10, but also the EC-130 and the missions at Fort Huachuca since I've been here. I flew the A-10. I committed the one deployable A-10 squadron at Davis-Monthan, so I've got the unique credibility to fight for it. So I had to fight amongst my colleagues, make sure they understood the importance that the A-10 brings to save American lives on the ground, make sure that the chairman understood it so that he would have it in his mark, what they call, to fully fund it and keep it flying. I've also been advocating to the new administration, Secretary of the Air Force, Secretary of Defense, the President and Vice President themselves. So it took all that behind the scenes work to make sure that not only is it funded to fly, but we got this wing funding in there to start the production line again. They had shut it down to re-wing some of the remaining fleet A-10. So this is a really big win. Again, I'm uniquely qualified, having flown the A-10 in combat, to advocate for it, and I'm very proud that we were able to get these wins this year.
Two more quick questions for you. You know, a main priority of President Donald Trump is an increase in defense spending. Did that make it easier to get everything you wanted in this bill?
A little bit. Actually, his budget proposal, was $54 billion over last year, but really it was only about a 3% increase over what President Obama asked for. It was $54 billion over the sequestration number. So I don't want to have people lost in the details, but we actually marked up to $621 billion, which is more than what the president's budget asked for, and really less than what we were originally demanding, which was $640. But we're also going to use another $10 billion in overseas contingency operation funds to pull it in to help with the readiness crisis and the base. So we think, we're going to be moving towards about $631. Again, that provides some relief to the situation we have, where we've got, in some cases, more than 50% of airplanes can't get airborne, so not getting the hours that they need. We don't have parts for airplanes. We have units on the ground, and we're not ready to deploy in an increasingly dangerous world. If you look at North Korea, Russia, China, Iran, ISIS, things have really gotten more complex, and we've got to make sure our troops have everything they need to keep us safe.
All right, Congresswoman Martha McSally, live in D.C. Thanks for your time.